there is a number that changes everything. Not a speed record, not a horsepower figure, a price. And when that number has 7 digits, when it climbs past the cost of a penthouse in Manhattan, past the price of a private jet share, past the kind of money that makes wealth managers pause, you stop asking what something costs and start asking what it represents. What you're about to see represents something that has never existed before in the entire history of motorized travel. It carries the most legendary name in automotive history, and it will make everything you've ever called luxury feel ordinary. This is the 2027 Bugatti, and the world is not ready. Here is what we're going to show you in the next 15 minutes. A hand-formed aluminum exterior with bodywork so precise it required the same craftsman who finished Bugatti's hypercars. An interior draped in materials so rare they are sourced from only 3 suppliers on Earth. A master bedroom that rivals the presidential suite at the Hôtel de Paris in Monaco. A kitchen designed in collaboration with a 2 Michelin star chef. A technology suite so integrated and intuitive that the vehicle essentially anticipates your needs before you voice them. And a rooftop terrace finished in genuine teak that rises above the French countryside like a private balcony on the most exclusive address in the world. We haven't told you the price yet. We're saving that. Because when we get there, you'll understand why Bugatti has never done anything quietly. Since Ettore Bugatti built his first masterpiece in Molsheim in the early 20th century, the name has stood for one thing above all others: the absolute refusal to compromise, not on performance, not on materials, not on the obsessive, almost irrational pursuit of perfection in every detail that most manufacturers would never think to address. When Bugatti decided to enter the motorhome space, decision that sent genuine shockwaves through both the automotive world and the luxury travel industry, no one who understood. The brand was surprised by what came next. They were only surprised by the scale of it. The project took 4 years. It involved over 200 individual craftspeople at various stages of production. It drew on Bugatti's existing relationships with material suppliers, upholstery houses, and engineering partners across France, Italy, Germany, and Switzerland. And it resulted in a vehicle so far removed from anything that had preceded it. In this category, that calling it a motorhome almost feels like an insult. Bugatti's internal designation for the project was simply La Maison, the house, because that is precisely what it is. Stand beside the IRONPEAK and you feel power. Stand beside a Rolls-Royce coach, build and you feel wealth. Stand beside the 2027 Bugatti motorhome and you feel something rarer than either. You feel history. The exterior of this vehicle is not designed, it is sculpted. Every panel, every surface transition, every curve and crease references Bugatti's century of coach-building heritage, while projecting something that belongs entirely to the future. The body is hand-formed aluminum, not pressed, not cast, but shaped by craftsmen using techniques that trace directly back to the atelier tradition of French coach building. Each panel is formed individually, fitted by hand, and finished to tolerances measured in fractions of a millimeter. The process for a single body side takes over 300 hours. There are production cars that take less time to build in their entirety. The signature Bugatti two-tone treatment runs the full length of the vehicle. The lower body finished in a deep carbon midnight, a proprietary color developed specifically for La Maison that shifts between black and a deep midnight blue depending on light angle and intensity. The upper body and roofline carry blanc pearl, a warm, barely there white that Bugatti has used on its most significant road cars for decades. The transition between the two tones follows a horseshoe-shaped graphic that references the iconic Bugatti grille stretched, evolved, and rendered at a scale that makes the original seem modest. The vehicle stretches to 52 feet. It is wide, considerably wider than a standard motorhome footprint, made possible by an ultra-low profile, custom chassis that keeps the overall height restrained despite the interior volume. From the front, the proportions are simultaneously imposing and elegant in a way that seems geometrically impossible until you see it. The front fascia carries the horseshoe grille in three-dimensional chrome, massive at this scale, but so precisely proportioned that it reads as natural rather than excessive. The wheels are 26-inch foggings, machined from solid billet aluminum by the same supplier that produces Bugatti's road car wheels, finished in a two-tone treatment that mirrors the body dark centers, polished lips, and wrapped in bespoke touring rubber, developed specifically to handle the vehicle's considerable mass with composure and silence. At speed, they are hypnotic. Parked, they anchored the entire exterior presence like full stops at the end of a sentence. The lighting system runs LED and laser elements, full laser headlamp, clusters in the front fascia, a continuous LED signature strip running the roofline from front to rear, puddle lights beneath every door that project the Bugatti EB monogram onto the ground below. At night, approached from any angle, La Maison glows with the quiet confidence of something that knows exactly what it is. The entrance to the Bugatti motorhome is itself an event. The door, a wide, coach-style opening, with a deployable step system in brushed stainless, operates on a pneumatic-assisted mechanism so smooth and so precisely weighted that it moves with the same resistance profile regardless of vehicle orientation. No hydraulic thunk, no mechanical groan. A whisper of compressed air and the world inside reveals itself that the interior of La Maison is organized around a single design philosophy that Bugatti's lead interior architect described in the project documentation as controlled extravagance. The idea that true luxury is not about accumulation but about precision, about knowing exactly how much of something is necessary to achieve an effect, and stopping there. Not austere, never cold, but never excessive for its own sake. Every element earns its place. The entry foyer, yes, there is a foyer, is a decompression space between the exterior world and the interior environment. The floor here is inlaid marble in a geometric pattern that references the Bugatti Type 57 Atlantic's centerline rivets, scaled and reinterpreted as an abstract mosaic. The walls carry hand-stitched leather panels in a warm cognac tone, full grain, sourced from a tannery in Tuscany that supplies 2-3 luxury fashion houses and nobody else. The ceiling is backlit onyx, thin enough to be translucent, mounted over a warm light source that gives the stone a faintly luminous quality, like something alive from the foyer. The vehicle opens into the Grand Salon, the primary living space, and the spatial experience is immediately, genuinely shocking. The slide-out system deploys 3 full extensions, expanding the interior width to over 14 feet in the main living zone. The ceiling height clears 7 feet. The floor plan is generous, considered, and completely unlike anything that has ever moved on public roads. The salon furniture is bespoke, designed by a Paris-based studio whose clients include private palaces and historic yacht restorations. The primary seating is a curved settee in a deep Bugatti racing blue velvet, a fabric woven on period looms in lion. the historical capital of French silk and velvet production. Using a construction technique that creates a piled depth and luminosity unavailable from any modern automated process. The material is extraordinary in person. Photographs simply cannot capture it. Opposite the settee, the entertainment wall is a floor-to-ceiling composition of backlit veneered panels in book-matched Macassar, ebony, the same species used in Bugatti's road car interiors, with a hidden 90-inch display that emerges behind a motorized panel at the touch of a surface-embedded control. The transition from closed panel to active screen is seamless. The display itself is a micro-LED unit operating at a peak brightness and color accuracy that surpasses commercial cinema projection standards. The audio system, a custom focal Utopia installation tuned specifically to this interior's acoustic properties by a recording engineer from Paris, uses 14 drivers. No crossover distortion, and a frequency response flat enough to satisfy professional monitoring standards. Music in this room is not background. It is presence. The master suite occupies a dedicated rearmost section of La Maison, accessed through a doorway framed in solid brass with a recessed horseshoe arch profile. The door itself, solid, heavy, closing with the definitive sound of a Swiss bank vault, provides acoustic isolation, sufficient to eliminate all external sound. The outside world is not invited in. The bed is a custom-commissioned piece, a king platform in solid French walnut with an upholstered headboard, running nearly the full width of the room, tufted in the same racing blue velvet as the salon. The mattress is a collaboration between Bugatti and a Viennese luxury sleep atelier hand assembled, individually pocket-sprung with a horsehair and silk top layer, and temperature regulated through an integrated water circulation system that maintains the sleep surface at the occupant's preferred temperature throughout the night. It is, without qualification, the finest sleeping surface that has ever traveled at highway speed. The bedroom ceiling carries a constellation installation, hundreds of individually fiber optic points of light, programmable in pattern and intensity, capable of replicating the actual night sky of any location on Earth for any given date and time. Park beside Lac Léman in Geneva and set the ceiling to reflect the sky above Molsheim on the night Ettore Bugatti was born. The detail is extraordinary. The intention behind it is more extraordinary still. The bathroom that adjoins the master suite is Bugatti's most unambiguous statement of intent in the entire vehicle. The floor is Verde Alpi marble, a rare Italian stone of deep green, with white veining cut in large format slabs and matched so precisely that the veining continues across joins without interruption. The shower enclosure is a seamless, frameless structure of museum-quality glass, with a ceiling-mounted rain head finished in 18-karat gold PVD coating and a digital interface embedded in a waterproof onyx panel that controls temperature, pressure, steam function, and chromotherapy lighting. The bath, yes, there is a freestanding bath, is carved from a single block of Carrara marble, CNC roughed to shape and finished entirely by hand. It weighs 400 kilograms. The mounting system required its own engineering chapter in the build. Documentation. The walk-in dressing room adjacent to the bathroom is fitted with interior cabinetry in matte lacquer and solid brass hardware, with a central island drawer unit topped in a further slab of book-matched onyx. Hanging rails are individually lit. Drawer interiors are lined in suede. The full-length mirror is internally heated and framed in hand-applied gold leaf. Getting dressed here is a ceremony. The kitchen in La Maison was not designed by an appliance brand. It was designed in genuine collaboration with a chef, a 2 Michelin star practitioner with a background in both French haute cuisine and Japanese precision technique, who spent 3 weeks in the vehicle during development, cooking daily and providing detailed feedback on every aspect of the space's functionality. The result is a kitchen that serves 2 masters simultaneously: the aesthetic demands of a vehicle that cannot tolerate visual inconsistency anywhere, and the practical demands of serious cooking. The cooking surface is a flush induction system with 6 independent zones, embedded in a continuous slab of white corian that runs the full length of the kitchen counter. No raised edges, no visible breaks, a single uninterrupted surface that wipes clean in seconds and looks like a gallery installation when not in use. Beneath it, a professional-grade convection oven selected from the same range used in the Paris restaurant that earned the consulting chef his 2nd Michelin star sits behind a panel that matches the surrounding cabinetry so precisely that it vanishes when closed. The refrigeration system runs 3 independent units, a primary refrigerator in a tall column to the left of the cooking zone, a dedicated wine conditioning cabinet maintaining precise humidity and vibration-free storage for up to 40 bottles, and a full separate freezer integrated beneath the counter on the right. Every door has a dual-mode latch. Every drawer has a custom-formed insert. Nothing moves in transit. Nothing ever has. The dining space, separated from the kitchen by a pass-through counter in marble, seats 6 around a table in solid travertine with a polished brass base, surrounded by chairs upholstered in the same cognac leather as the entry foyer. The pendant lighting above the table is a commission piece, a single sculptural installation in hand-blown Murano glass, suspended from an anti-vibration mount that keeps it perfectly still regardless of road conditions. Dinner at this table, on the right evening, with the right view through those smart glass windows, is an experience measured in memory rather than time. The technology architecture of La Maison operates on a principle borrowed from the highest tier of private aviation: the idea that the best technology is the technology you never have to think about. Systems that require attention are systems that interrupt experience. Everything in this vehicle is designed to work before you know you need it. The Central Intelligence Platform, a proprietary Bugatti system developed in partnership with a Swiss technology firm that works primarily with defense and aerospace clients, manages over 3,000 individual data points across the vehicle simultaneously: climate, lighting, security, entertainment, power management, slide-out position, suspension mode, water systems, solar input, battery status, all processed continuously, all adjusted automatically with a baseline setting profile that learns occupant preferences across the first week of use and thereafter requires almost no manual input. Voice control operates through a natural language interface with no wake word requirement. The system is always listening at a low sensitivity threshold and activates fully when addressed in conversational tone. It responds in French or English by default, with 6 additional language options. It does not require specific phrasing. It understands intent. The autonomous highway driving system, developed in collaboration with a German automotive technology partner, handles highway cruising, lane maintenance, speed management, and obstacle response with a smoothness that makes the vehicle feel effortless to travel in. It does not replace a driver for all conditions. It provides a level of assistance so thorough that extended highway journeys become genuinely restful for the person behind the wheel. Exterior security runs 20 cameras, 12 fixed, 8 motorized with auto-tracking, feeding a central monitoring system accessible from any interior, screen, or via a dedicated application. The vehicle recognizes the biometric profile of up to 10 individuals and adjusts access, climate, lighting, and entertainment preferences automatically upon their entry. The rooftop terrace deploys in under 90 seconds, a hydraulically raised tick deck with stainless railing, integrated LED perimeter lighting, and a retractable canopy in weather-grade sunbrella fabric. At full extension, standing on that deck with a glass of something French and a horizon that stretches to the edge of visibility, the concept of a hotel room feels almost quaint. The price: we told you we'd get here. Industry sources with knowledge of the project have placed La Maison's base configuration cost at approximately $2.4 million. Full specification with bespoke material selections, extended technology packages, and the custom commission pieces that occupy several zones of the interior is understood to approach $3.2 million. There are exactly 12 units planned for the first production cycle. They are not available to the general public. Prospective buyers were reportedly approached directly by Bugatti's bespoke division before the vehicle was publicly announced. This is not a purchase. It is a membership in something. A vehicle for the individual who has reached the point where the question is no longer what can I afford, but rather what in this world genuinely has no equal. Ettore Bugatti once said, and this is a quote that has lived in the walls of the Molsheim atelier for over a century, that nothing is too beautiful, nothing is too expensive. He was speaking about cars, about the obsession with perfection that built a legend. But standing inside La Maison, surrounded by teak and Carrara and racing blue velvet, with the French countryside moving silently past those smart glass windows and the focal utopia system playing something that feels more like memory than music, you understand that he was speaking about something larger, about a philosophy, about the belief that beauty, executed without compromise, is not indulgence. It is civilization. The road stretches ahead. The marble is warm. The Murano glass above the dining table catches the late afternoon light and throws small constellations across the ceiling. Outside, the world is moving at 100 kilometers an hour. Inside, nothing moves at all. This is not a motorhome. This is not an RV. This is not even, in any conventional sense, a vehicle. This is a Bugatti, as it has always been, is simply the finest thing in the world.